more on our top story for you, the review into how to stop migrants crossing the English Channel following concerns the current measures aren't working. It's being reported the Prime Minister has grown exasperated at the situation and wants to find a solution. Well, joining me now is former Chief Immigration Officer for UK Border Force in Calais, Kevin Saunders. Thanks for joining us. How bad do you believe the situation is?
Well, first of all, good evening. I think the situation is very bad. We can't stop the flood of migrants coming across the Channel. We need to do something to try and stop it. Hopefully, the Home Secretary is going to come up with something that will work.
And what do you think will work?
Well, I've been saying for over a year now that the best idea is to take the asylum seekers offshore and process them in a facility offshore somewhere.
Is that something that would be permitted as far as laws are concerned for international human rights laws, refugee and asylum seeking laws? Because, you know, frankly, the majority of people trying to get into the country have been proven to have legitimate asylum seeking rights.
Yes, well, according to the refugee agencies, that's correct, but I don't see why we can't process them offshore. The Australians did it.
But that was incredibly controversial when the Australians did it.
Whether it was controversial or not, it worked. And we've got to find something in the UK that does actually work.
The Refugee Council reports that the increase in the number of people using small boats, I want to get this right, so I'm going to read it from what they've written, to enter the UK represents a change in one of the methods people are using, but it doesn't actually reflect an increase in the actual number of people claiming asylum. So why are we so worried about this?
Well, when we started to challenge the problem of migrants coming to the UK back in early 2000, the big problem was people coming through the Channel Tunnel or on the ferries in backs of lorries. Border Force solved that problem very effectively, and now the number of people getting through in backs of lorries is minimal. The result of that was that people switched to another method, which was coming across the Channel. And this is something that we're now faced with. And realistically, we've got to attempt to stop it. We can't have...
Surely the attempt to stop it should be to provide legitimate, safe alternatives, which the government don't seem to be doing as far as many organisations are concerned, Migration Watch, Refugee Council, rather than trying to push boats away and stop people trying to escape, you know, situations that they're not comfortable in.
The United Kingdom was described once by one of our European friends as an insignificant island off the coast of northwest Europe. Therefore, perhaps the Europeans ought to be doing an awful lot more to stop the migrants reaching this insignificant country, rather than...
Well, I mean, they are doing more. Technically, as far as the statistics are concerned, Europe is doing more as far as asylum seekers, refugees, and some of them turn out, of course, to be migrant workers. The statistics I have is that Germany hosts 1.2 million refugees, Turkey has 3.7 million, France 436,100 in 2020, and the UK in 2020, less than half of that, 132,349. So actually Europe is doing more, and we're not really taking in as many as perhaps you seem to be inferring.
Between 2015 and 2019, we took more migrants than any other European country. That's a fact as well. The Europeans should, if they want to do something fairly, then the Europeans could set up a processing centre, invite us to join it, and then share any legal migrants out. I don't see why we should have to deal with 25,000 migrants crossing the Channel to the UK on our own.
Kevin Saunders, I'm sorry, we're going to have to leave it there, but it's been interesting to hear your insight from your point of view. Let's see what the government does about this situation. Thank you.
Yeah.